Welcome to the Squad Games Podcast. Squad Games Podcast.
Guess what did not come out today, Giacomo?
Wendy's Baconator Breakfast Deluxe Sandwich.
No, the Kill Team data slate.
Oh, no. The day just keeps getting sadder and sadder.
I am absolutely flabbergasted. I don't have the words to communicate how disappointed, how upset, and how angry I am that we have still not got a data slate. Now, it's interesting that we didn't get a data slate because, we got the last Q4 data slate happened in December 14th of last year. We are a full month behind that. And,
I understand. That is unfortunate. And today's episode of the Squad Games Podcast, we're going to be giving you a little bit of the rundown of the changes that Dakotah has taken the initiative to make changes for LVO. They're very important. And
I had to. We cannot play the game the way it currently is.
It is not
Absolutely
a good
not.
experience. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is a very special episode. We're recording this live. I mean, it won't be live for you, but live for us on our way to Vegas.
Yes, we are driving and we have 2.5 hours. So that means we have 2.5 hours to wrap up this conversation. We're also going to be talking about the Shattered Veil, which is our brand new narrative.
We're recording.
I would say Sheldon did a lot more than just pretty it up, but you'll have to wait and see what exactly he did. But this was definitely a joint effort.
Between you and Sheldon.
Yes. This was my first time tackling so many missions, though. So this will be a very special type of narrative. I don't think anything's ever been done like this quite before. And this is going to be our prototype for a grand narrative that we're throwing in July. And we're hoping to do a really big record number for it. It's going to be very, very cool. So we're going to test the waters with it. But this particular narrative has over 20 missions. So if you play it here at LVO, you can still play it again and have a completely different experience.
It's interesting because we've made teams. So you basically start the narrative and you are either on the Seek and Destroy team, the Infiltration team, the Recon team, or the Security team. Security team is trying to protect the sector. Infiltrate's trying to break in, do things. Recon's trying to figure out what's going on and find certain resources, while Seek and Destroy is just trying to destroy everything.
Bashing heads.
Seek and Destroy, break everything. So you essentially are on a team with a bunch of people that you might know or you don't know. It's very fun. It's going to be very fun and very entertaining for our players, I think.
So it takes place because last year we also took one in sector Aterum, and this is 200 years in the future. The planets have been colonized by the Imperium, and they're being mined for a new energy source called necroplasm. So that's kind of what is happening here. So there's colonies across multiple planets and their moons. And we also have environmental effects. So certain planets that are just ice, glacial, frozen wastelands are going to have some elemental effects that will affect your game. And then we also have mining rigs in ocean worlds. We
also have the rule of cool. There is no competitive terrain at this at the Squad Games narrative. We 3D print a lot of stuff. We try to make the coolest tables, and we try to custom make a bunch of great terrain so that players can really just expand and have fun and just do different stuff.
I mostly catch people just taking pictures of their kill team on the terrain, to be honest with you. But everything's supposed to be really just different. It's not supposed to be competitive at all. You don't win or lose this event. It's just who can tell the best story, and that's reflected in the awards that we give out.
Yeah, an interesting award that we're going to do is each team at the end of the event is going to vote for their best general. So that's going to be the person who is the most narrative, the person that was most fluffy, the person that led the group the most, maybe the person that they like the most in their own group, in their own team. And that's each person from each group, the number one vote will get the number one prize for that particular.
Encouraging a lot of role play and really getting into the narrative, the spirit of narrative, having fun, I'm not here to win, I'm here to experience it.
Yeah, and this is definitely a storytelling experience. You are following, which makes it so cool, is that you are on 4 different teams, but these 4 teams have an entirely different narrative. So even if when we do the grand narrative, we have 24 players attending this particular narrative. We got capped at 24.
Maybe that's the only reason.
Yeah, there were definitely more trying to get in. We got capped at 24. This is a really big event, even with 174 players coming out to compete. We were lucky to even get a narrative space at all. But the grand narrative, I think we're trying to open up at least 60 seats for it. So even if people play here, they'll be able to play an entirely different experience if they choose to play a different team. But it's going to be, you're just going to be telling a story, and your actions, your wins and losses just, are going to affect the story in interesting ways. So even a loss pushes the story forward. So it's going to be wonderful.
So there's going to be 5 rounds, and they're all asymmetric win conditions, depending on your teams. And then round 6 is something special where players have to nominate. So there's 6 players to a group. They have to nominate 2 attackers, and the rest are going to be defenders. And essentially, they do a co-op battle plan where you cut your forces in half, and there's 2 people that are defenders on the same board versus 1 attacker, and they get their full team and all their narrative buffs, but so do the other teams.
We should talk about what narrative buffs are. So when we're talking about the story progresses, this is going to be unlike anything anybody's ever experienced before, because starting around mission 2, your things change dramatically for your teams each time you play. So for security, you're gaining more and more guardsmen. So you're like accruing a small army.
Yeah, we had to paint 36 guardsmen for the event. We also had to paint 16 Kasrkin and 6 Space Marines.
We also had to paint a lot of something else, but we're not going to talk about it because our game on Sunday is going to be the finale, but it's also going to be entirely just an epic game. And there was a lot of work put in this, a lot of behind the scenes work that we really can't talk about. And a lot of, that's kind of where Sheldon kind of took a deeper dive into this work. So, I have to personally thank him for all the work he did. Not only did he help in this in the most epic way ever, but he also made the most beautiful booklet out of the work that I put in. You put all this typing, but he actually created the most beautiful PDF, and I'm so excited to share this with people.
Call this man the illustrator, man. He knocked it out of the park. Shout out to Sheldon.
Also, he did it in such a short amount of time, it made me feel stupid, so.
He uses Pages on his MacBook.
Oh, classic.
I don't know what that is, but that's what I asked. I was like, how'd you make this so pretty? And he was like, Pages. And I was like, right. I don't know what that is.
It is a basic built-in app.
It's because we're not. I mean, I have an iPad, but that's pretty much it.
You have Pages.
Oh, if I have Pages, that's what I'm going to do.
I use Pages
that's what I'm
on
going to do. I'm going to figure it out
I have
because
it on my phone.
I have never been so excited and jealous of something before. I was like, how did he make this so beautiful in such a short amount of time? But honestly, it's incredible. But as players, will be able to download all the PDFs onto their phones and be able to play the entire game.
We will release the entire narrative after our major grand narrative in July. So if you're looking forward to playing an awesome experience with it, you're going to have to wait a little bit. I apologize. But that always means you can come out to our July event. You can make the trip out. We're going to have actors. I'm going to be dressed up, Saya, Giacomo, a bunch of other people. And we're going to really just be able to focus on the narrative without any competitiveness there whatsoever.
It's going to be a really immersive experience as well, because we're going to have missions reported via, filmed portions of it, and we're going to have a lot of props. We're going to have bolters, and we've already started some of the props you're going to see at LVO, but we're going to have full on just contraband, and it's going to be such a really, really neat experience that we're really excited for.
Now, Saya said bolters. We might have a bolter and some, hopefully some helmets, Space Marine helmets and some other things. But we're definitely going to be, I'm definitely going to put my old background of prop making to the test and really trying to pump out some stuff to really make something different, because we've never really done like outside of LVO like a really crazy narrative thing, and that's something we want to try to do this year.
I dig it. I think it's a lot of fun to break away from some of the competitive scene every now and then.
Absolutely.
And I think that we're hyper focusing on trying to make this a very immersive. And I know that we've always tried to make squad games very different and unique and fun and, you know, create a vibe. But this is definitely going to be
The vibe.
Yeah, a completely different experience. So we are all pretty excited for it just because it is something a little bit different. And of course, we want to enjoy playing Kill Team with our friends in a fun atmosphere. And yes, and by taking a lot of the competitiveness out of it, I think that the storytelling in itself is going to make this just a one-of-kind of experience.
So get your tickets at some point. You know, you can start planning now, you know, have a fun thing here in Southern California, most likely.
Yeah, we'll also have a big lead up in the Discord. We tried to do it for LVO, but I was just too stressed for time. I literally worked until 2 a.m. last night and woke up at 5.
Yeah.
So like we should have like the Discord opened up to specific factions and everyone can kind of talk and get together and work together before the event even starts. So you can kind of come up with your own mission, like team backgrounds and stuff like that.
Well, we really want you to create characters.
Yeah.
So, like, you're going to be, like, the leader of a kill team. And so, like, we would love it for people to create their actual, like, a character who they are as they're taking their kill teams into you know, these skirmishes. So.
I want to see some self-inserts. Find yourself a 3D scanner.
Oh, my gosh, it'd be amazing.
And then 3D print your own head onto your model.
Oh, my gosh. Speaking of heads on models.
Yeah, there's many heads on models. The ones in front of me. So a special thing that the team has worked on here, and we've said it many times, is currently in my lap. I'm currently holding the Angels of Death Black Templar team.
I wish I could keep this team. It is phenomenal.
Yeah, the more I painted it, the more I'm like, dang, I wish this was mine. but I'm not going to get to keep it. This is going to go to somebody, and I want them to enjoy this, to really love it. And the way that you can get this team is for all those who are participating at LVO, whether you're part of Kill Team or whether you're just someone in LVO and you want to come in and drop a raffle ticket for this, you can find Saya at the booth, maybe one of us, we can point you there, and you know, feel free to get some raffle tickets for this.
Yeah, it's a $10 raffle ticket, or for every $100 you spend, because this is purely a Squad Games fundraiser, because you have to realize that a lot of these events that Squad Games we do completely unpaid. So we are desperately trying to make it to more events, and that does cost a little revenue. But I want to ask you guys a question. I'm telling you, this is the most beautiful team I've ever seen. I think either one of you really paint.
Really?
And
my deathcore green?
yeah, these are absolutely stunning. I think it's because the deathcore are so little. Like, and these are just large, stunning knights.
He's like the
the others, they're just, I mean, they catch your eye immediately. How was it painting this together?
You know, that's a trip. I've never really done work with another artist before.
To completion.
Yeah, to completion in this level. Like, we both did high quality work for different parts that I think we have more expertise in.
Yeah, so G, what did you do? And well, first, I guess I started the project, right? Where I built the team. I spent like 3 days figuring out what models I wanted to use. I like scratched 4 different sergeants, and I ended up just going up with like a lot of I have the box for the Black Templars, you know, the special edition one.
Yeah.
So we took a bunch of models specifically from that. We took like the Marshal and we turned him into a captain. I did like a bunch of model swaps, some hand sculpting and converting so that we could get the proper models on certain things with the nice chains and stuff. And then I primed it. I painted the black armor, and then I did the cloth, and I did the blue power weapons. I did the candles. Is that all I did?
I mean, yeah, that's still a lot.
Yeah, and then, G, what did you do?
I
also did all the metal.
Yes, so I was going to mention that. After you did your metallics, I then went back on the casings and did touch-ups for more, like, damaged effects, to have, like, chips and stuff on the paint, whether it's on the weapons, outside of the power weapons. I took care of the leathers, because I like doing leathers, and then I have a affinity for painting faces, so then I took care of faces.
And lenses.
I'm affinity for heads. If I could, I would just sell Space Marine heads. I'd just paint them and sell them to people.
I think you could literally make a living off that. Like, you could retire somewhere off that, the quality of your work, because honestly, immensely impressive.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so we did a lot of good stuff, and kind of like we both took our like best skills and we both put them into like one team. And I'm super proud of it. I look forward to recreating this team for myself and for the channel, because it is that cool.
It is really cool.
It's making me nervous because they're literally sitting in a wet pallet in Giacomo's lap as he's and we're just jiggling along as we go.
We still have to do the transfers.
Yes, I'm going to do that tonight because it was the last thing, and I was like, I'm too tired. We will knock out the transfers tomorrow, and that's easy. That's about an hour and a half of work, so I'll knock that out. So you're going to see it literally hit the ground, and then someone's going to win this.
Hopefully we'll get a couple really nice pictures of this team, maybe a couple nice videos so that we can put it on YouTube or put it somewhere else, put it on our Instagram and stuff, so that anyone listening to this can also see them,
ahead of time.
Because we won't have them in the future. They will be gone this weekend.
Be gone. Yeah.
You guys might consider doing this for every LVO, but do it much earlier so you guys can film a video to like push out the promo, because I don't think you can even describe how beautiful this team is.
Yeah, well, we chose to do an all black theme, and unfortunately a lot of our stuff came in super late, so we have like custom dice for LVO this year with bolters on them. We have custom dice bags that hold your TAC-OP cards. A bunch of really cool like paraphernalia, like a brand new 3D printed, I call it the micro tray set. A bunch of other cool trays and stuff and we made 24 dice trays. Dice trays are so time consuming. This is the most we've ever brought to any event. So really looking forward to sharing everything that we made. It was a massive undertaking. We had a lot of people come over and help. We had Melty and Squid come over, and they just peeled tokens for an entire day.
You'd think they were working at a hot waxing place or something with how much they were peeling.
But I have to say that, so we have brand new products that no one's ever seen before with the micro tray and the micro...
I dig the micro tray so much.
It's so cute. So it is a micro dice tray with a lid, and then a micro tray that holds your tokens as well as your cards, and they all compile together, or you can buy them separate, but they're very, very different. They're very small. So people who are flying in, I definitely would recommend this to y'all. And with that, we've got our gorgeous artwork done by
Mr.
Dylan, yes, and he did our artwork for our t-shirts, and so we have a lot of new merch that we definitely want to swing by and check out. Very, very cool this year.
Yeah, I'm very excited for all the new stuff for everyone to take something home. It's fun to go to Vegas and buy something, right? Like,
it is.
Yeah, get something cool. Get something to remember it. Like, I went to Las Vegas Open Kill Team, and all I got was this dice tray.
But also our theme this year, I think, is very cool because it's we did a lot of black. Everything that we could do black, we did black, which I feel like people like customizable things for their teams, but when everything matches black, what I'm saying, you can't ever go wrong with black.
You really can't go wrong with black.
So
I'm back in black.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's also another big thing that we did. Since there was no data slate, I spent the day yesterday, a couple hours, thinking about what are the absolute bare bone changes that Kill Team really needs before the data slate. Obviously, these will all go away when the data slate releases. But unfortunately, like our content in the past has said, we desperately need a balanced data slate. Kill Team definitely needs to be balanced. I think the game is in not the best of states, but we made a couple changes. Unfortunately, it is on the last day because I was relatively certain we were going to get a data slate before LVO.
Me too. I was right there.
As you can hear the disappointment in my voice.
It's very sad.
The fact that a TO had to come out and do something for the game when the developers could not in time. It is the world's largest event, and there was a lot of glaring issues at Worlds with the game and the balance. So let's go over those real quick.
Let's do it.
We made a clarification to cover and obscurement. It's a little bit different than people... I think it's really gamey and really edgy to gain cover and obscurity from the same piece of wall because of its thickness. I think that it's a relatively high skill level, but I think that it's really feels bad. And, whether or not they address that in... I've got to change lanes.
Nice.
At LVO in the future data slates or anything like that, we'll have to see. But essentially, I made it so that you cannot get cover and obscurement from the same small piece of terrain right in front of you. So if there's another wall or there's another piece of terrain near you and you have cover, then you can get obscuring. It's pretty simple, but it's those really small edge cases that you're like, I am 0.99 inches away from this piece of terrain, so I get cover and I get obscuring because this wall is so thick. Like I said, I think it's just a really feels bad mechanic, and you can eat me alive in the comments, but in the end, I think it's healthier for the game, and I think it's an easier way to rule the game in general. We also changed a few things for unique actions and universal actions. A model can only perform each of the following actions once per turning point. That would be each unique psychic action and guard actions. So note that psychic shooting attacks are not considered psychic actions, so you can shoot multiple things. So this specifically targets healing, teleporting, warp coven,
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
the big offender.
Yeah, and then we also have guards. So one of the other issues with the elites is that you can guard and then go on counteract and guard again, and essentially you're forcing people to trade 4 to 6 models to try and get into a room if you're playing a horde team, which is innately obscene. So you can only guard once per turning point with any model. No counteract guarding or anything like that. We also changed primary selection. You must choose your primary first. And that stops Hand of the Archon and a few other people from just gaining free CP. It's also just something that needs to happen for the game. We also changed, we clarified marker placement. You have to put it on a vantage or the kill zone floor, because we don't want people putting them on pillars, on the side of terrain, other random things. And then we also changed counteract so that I'll make it short. You can't move more than 2 inches in a counteract, regardless of any other rules. So you can't pick up a Vespid that has a fly and move him 6 inches.
Right, 2 is the max.
2 is the max. So that's vertically, that's anything like that. I think that's rules as intended. And if Games Workshop doesn't want to change it, that's on them. But, I think getting an extra 6-inch move is a little ridiculous.
It's quite ridiculous, actually. Like, what?
Wouldn't it be crazy if the balance came out tomorrow and it was all of those things?
Can we not talk about that and have it come into reality?
Could you not? Oh no, we're thinking about it. What if it happens?
We're gonna orc it into existence.
And so this is just a quick reminder, since it has not dropped today. And in the event that it does, I would recommend everybody download a PDF of their current team right now.
You're going to have to.
You're going to have to. I mean, for those listening, that's as best as we could try to reach out. And, we'll give it a shout out on the Discord. But there's only so many people we could reach. You got to fly, you got to drive, you might not be getting it,
And I know right now, just because I have been doing social media longer than these guys, I think, it is easy to sit here and make videos, off of people's decisions, but if you're not running events, you really do not know, especially in a competitive scene. If you're not running the world's largest kill team events, you really don't understand. Some of these decisions have to be made for the betterment of the entire tournament experience and for players, and to make things fair.
Yeah.
And I know that people like to take your content and then just make videos off of them, and I mean, you do you get your bread any way you can. I get it, but I think that a lot goes into this, a lot of emotion, a lot of work that's completely unseen, and it's so easy to just basically, can I say shit?
Sure, we're past 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. So basically shit on you guys for some of the decisions you have to make, but no one is at the level making these decisions that, because they're not doing the things that you guys are doing. And they're not actively seeing the fact that you work with 174 people at these events and you're trying to do what's best for everybody and not just a select elite few. So with that, I want to thank you for just making Kill Team so welcoming to new players, so welcoming to everybody, no matter what their level is. And I mean, I'm looking forward to all the follow-up videos on this that people are going to make content after when they really have like very little experience in the competitive scene. And it is what it is. So.
Or they don't verify information before they go out. And
sometimes
talk about it, make a video.
And to be
we're easy to reach, right?
Yeah, well, it's not just that. It's common knowledge that Squad Games runs Frontline Gaming's Kill Team. They've done it for 3 years, and before that, it was at LVO. Yes, at LVO. A lot of West Coast events too. We
do a lot of West Coast events
for Frontline Gaming, but not only that. Before that, it was still run by a third-party person.
Yeah.
So it's run by Sheldon Steer, the most amazing guy, the guy who helped me write the narrative. He's an incredible and very intelligent man, and also I don't think you're gonna meet one person who loves Kill Team more than Sheldon. Sorry, Dakotah. I think he has you on that.
I think they're even.
You think so?
Pretty even.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
An immovable object and an unstoppable force,
But I think that when you become, when you are a content creator and when you are a leader in this field, I think you got to be very careful when you put information out that it's correct information. And if you are gently corrected, you should.
You acknowledge that sometimes we can make a mistake.
Yeah, you can make a mistake, but even if it's not if it's ill intent, not ill intent, you should probably address that and to just, I don't know. I'm having a little bit of some issues when people are just trying to. I feel like I'm not going to say anything rude about it. I'm just going to move past it. Just be careful. You're a leader in the community. You should just verify information, and if someone corrects you on it, I think it's your due diligence to fix that openly state your mistakes.
Yeah, if you want to talk to us, just go on our Discord. You can come at us, and we'll try to respond. I don't get to everything. I try to. I know Dakotah does the same thing. I think he's more responsive than I am.
Yeah, I know that. Essentially, somebody released a video that upset. It was just a minute of it. A minute of it upset me because it's wrought with false information that people are now running with on Discords and other places, saying that GW owns FLG, works with it's crazy. There's so much misinformation just because somebody just randomly talked about a video that they have about an LVO situation that they just have no clue about. It's a little frustrating.
But also, when you brought forth the actual truth, your comment was muted so no one could see it, and that's where I'm having a little bit of issues with. It's just it's your responsibility when you reach a certain level of content creating, or in general just being
it's journalism, right? Yeah. If you're thinking about starting a podcast, or you're thinking about doing anything like that, essentially what we're doing is journalism. Sure, we have opinions and that kind of stuff, but if you just do lazy journalism and you don't actually have any actual facts and you just come up with stuff and say stuff like it's facts, there's also a thing about YouTube algorithm. People only watch the first 20, 30, 40% of your video. So if you clarify things at the end of your video, and you say misinformation up front, it's still an issue. So just be aware that if you do have a podcast or anything like that, you're thinking about starting one, it's important that if you're going to state something as fact, it should be fact, or it should be close to it.
Yeah, facts are, unlike truths, facts are hard facts. Yes, 2 + 2 is 4.
Yeah.
It's my opinion that it's 5, but the truth is that it's 4. So.
And also, you can make. Okay. But what are you guys looking forward most to? Let's just continue on with positive things. We got through our little spiel. What are you guys looking forward most to at LVO?
Man, seeing 174 players plus people coming into the hall. By the way, we're in the Amazon room now. We're no longer in Brasilia Hall. We are in Amazon now.
My Wonder Woman heart really likes that.
Are you an Amazonian at heart? I like that.
At heart,
Hey, you know what? My mom's from the jungle city near the Amazon, so that's cool.
That's such a weird, like, I know you're right, but it's just a wild thing. My mom's from the jungle, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, the jungle city near the Amazon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping the space will be nice. I'm looking forward to the narrative event because I, just put a lot of work into it, but I am also looking forward to seeing everybody, meeting new people, because, I don't know all 174 of these players, but I'm looking forward to, like, old faces and new.
I'm looking forward to LVO being over. It takes up like 2 or 3 months of my life, and then it's done.
You're looking forward to all the shit that's gonna be talked to you about making these changes.
Probably. I know it's an unpopular decision to do certain things. To make. I know it's unpopular to make last minute changes. I know that it was unpopular to say, like, hey, the rules cutoff is here. But again, sometimes my hands are tied when we have a new data slate. We're all trying to figure it out. I'm sure there's going to be something in the future. I know that other people are saying, like, you could just download all the rules and then give all those rules to people in a Google Drive. And you're absolutely right. That's something that we could do. And in fact, we probably would do something like that in the future. But unfortunately, there are some things in Kill Team that are not good right now, and everyone is looking forward to something to refresh the meta. The meta has been solved. There is nothing new about the meta. Warp Coven, Legionary, Hierotech, or Inquisition will win the Las Vegas Open, in my opinion. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Let's be honest, that's a fact.
No, apparently Blades of Cain currently have the highest win rate in the game, but that's typically it's crazy. But typically that is in metas that they have soft banned Legionaries and Warp Coven. So I couldn't imagine playing Blades of Lame into Warp Coven. It seems like a nightmare.
Right,
Yeah.
Jimmy Kelly or Cyrac or Joshua bring them out and like, nah.
Yeah.
Let's just give you the points, I'm out.
I do think that the more with the rules might just be a little bit of confuffle with like the top 10, especially because they can always use the fact that you've changed rules and that didn't benefit them. But I ultimately think that generally speaking, everybody coming to this event is pretty understanding and wants what's best for Kill Team.
Yeah, I think that if you travel halfway across the world or you travel whatsoever to come to an event, you're really hoping it's going to be the best. And I think that everyone's going to really see the time and effort we really put into everything because, I already bought 30 sets of Into the Dark. I'm not going to buy any Vulcus.
Yeah, we don't need no,
so
we're going to make that.
Instead, we just made it all out of MDF 3D prints and stuff like that. So the
MDF Vulcus you created is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's dope, man.
It's dope. I'm not even saying that because I know you. Like, it actually is visually just beautiful to look at.
Yeah, we definitely pushed the envelope, made it better. And the thing about MDF terrain for competitive is, or at least competitive-ized MDF terrain is that like you see this at like WTC terrain, my terrain, stuff like that. You can see that there's like clear intentions of where cover lines are supposed to be. You can clearly tell, and as a rules writer, you can say certain things. But like when you play with Vulcus, even though it's like super rules is rule of cool, there's like barrels that stick out. Do those cause heavy? Well, apparently they do because that's how Games Workshop World did at Worlds, right? But there's just like bits and pieces that, like, or the big poop rock. Like, who likes the poop rock?
Right,
like,
things that would add flavor, but maybe necessarily don't translate well for competitive reasons.
Correct. So
let's throw them a narrative.
Yay!
Yeah, so, just trying to make it as easy as possible for all players at our events to really be able to see clear lines of sight, not have any gotchas, and go like that. It's going to be a blast. I think everyone's going to have a great time at LVO, and we're really looking forward to sharing what we've done with the world.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah, I think that LVO just generally has a good vibe because it's in Vegas, and I think that we're pretty sensitive to that. So we try to have an earlier day so people have their evenings to themselves, and but yeah, Vegas has always been quite fun.
Yeah, we give up cocaine and hookers for dice rolls and minis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
But no, I'm excited for LVO. You know, I'll walk around before we're all actually working for the 3 days, just to quickly look around, maybe hit up a couple booths. I always try to buy some Artis Opus brushes when I'm here, because I don't have to pay the shipping costs.
Interesting. I want to give shout outs to LVO sponsors. We have Artis Opus, Gamers Grass, Mad Alpaca Games, AK Interactive sent us like 170 oil paints that we're going to give out to our showcase winners, or to the people that make the showcase at LVO. And you know, I think, like, is there any other sponsors? I don't think there's any other big sponsors this year.
We might get some over there. We hunt around a little bit.
We do. So, and then obviously we give out tons of stuff, you know, as well. So I just want to thank those partners who have partnered with us for this year's event. And we're really looking forward to, you know, bringing the hobby to Kill Team as always, you know. So I think that's one of my favorite parts about the Las Vegas Open, is just like seeing all the hobby that everyone's done, seeing everything like that, seeing the conversions, and it's just like a mass amount of people from 40K to AOS to Kill Team. It's a little different this year too, because we're in a different hall. I know we already talked about that, but
Yep, Amazon.
I've never been in that hall, so I have no idea how big it is. So
Because there's a lot of stuff in there.
we're gonna find out in 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. We looked over at the map, and I feel like the map did not do it justice. But yeah, it's like everybody's in that room, and then Big Hammer is just in their own space.
They always need it.
Yeah, and I think I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone that I only get to see once a year. I'm also looking forward to seeing, you know, people a fan of the podcast, people that are, you know, a fan of our tournaments, or just people we've never met before or don't even know who we are. You know, it's always exciting to meet like-minded people who are coming to enjoy a game that we all enjoy together. So it's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Whew. Yeah, driving to Vegas.
We all have that. We all woke up at 3 delirium.
Yeah, to get ready to start going, and we all stayed up late. And you know, I was at Dakotah's house.
I think my biggest panic was I haven't used my trailer in a year since the last LVO, and since then I've gotten the license plate, and I couldn't find the license plate. So I was like, well, we can't drive the trailer unless we have the license plate.
Right.
And then I was
legally.
like, oh my gosh, does it have to be registered? And my dad was like, yes. I was like, do I need a sticker? He was like, I don't know. So then I had to like go on the DMV and like check my license plate, and there's just like there's a lot of extra stress that you just don't think about. You know, it's like, oh, I haven't used my trailer keys in a year. Where are my trailer keys? And then I found them like the day before, and I was like, thank God I found them. Otherwise, I was calling.
He ran into the room and was like, Giacomo, I found the keys.
Yeah. Small little things, you know.
That's what people don't know when you're doing tournaments. There's like little tiny things that really can make or break events and make things so much harder than they need to be. And it's just like, if you've never run an event, you just don't know.
Shout out to the Del Taco Cup that never gave up for 3 days.
Oh my gosh!
I threw that shit out, Giacomo.
Yeah, at this point...
That sounds like you peed in it. He was not peeing in a Del Taco
I was just
cup.
using it for water. It deserved to die. Thank you for giving it a Vikings death.
You're welcome. Now,
It's like we don't have cups. You just kept coming out there and
It
like
was there.
stubborn. You were
It
so
was there. I had
stubborn.
it.
so I wanted to ask you a question, Giacomo.
Yeah.
So the Marines that we painted, the Black Templars, what was your favorite aspect to paint about them, and what is currently your favorite part?
Ooh, that is a good one. So I really dig what you did with all the tabards and the capes. I think that's really well done. Like it's a very stylized choice, and I think it looks really cool. I liked painting the casings more than I thought I would, doing like the red effect where you kind of just stipple things on and then add scratches. I've never tried that before, so that was really something new. And I'm always going to love painting heads because I love painting heads.
That's fair.
How about you? What was something you tried on this that you really liked?
So I've been really trying to practice true metallic metal and getting better and better and better at that. Mm-hmm. And I'm really, really, really overly happy with how the golds came out. I have this new recipe, like we use 2 Hobby Highlander colors and that's it. And I think I can push it even more with some, some nice washes and stuff like that to kind of darken and matte certain other areas and coats. But really pleased with how the golds came out, and I'm also really, really pleased with the blue power blades and the black armor. I haven't painted black armor in years.
This is how I wanted the black armor to be. So when you sent me the original photos of or what we were thinking, I was like, I can live with it, but this is kind of what I preferred, and I'm glad you did that.
Thanks. I did a AK black was the base coat, and then I did P3 coal black mixed with AK black, and then a pure zenithal with just some coal black. The P3 black, which hopefully they have a new one. Their new paint is hopefully as cool as
bring back some of the hits.
Coal black, yeah. Which is just like it's like a darker Incubi darkness, right?
Yeah,
that's essentially what it is.
That's exactly what I thought about when you pulled the paint out. I like it. I like the way it looks. It has a nice because when you paint black, you either choose to go whitish tone or grayish tones or bluish tones, and
we went to blue-green, like a dark blue-green.
Yeah, the blue-green tone is nice, like that kind of like sea blue, sea green kind of thing. It's a fun way to put out black, in my opinion. I think it looks cooler that way.
Yeah, and then the edge highlighting was done with just pure coal black, and then a mix between an AK French. I think it's French blue?
French blue, yeah.
French
AK
blue?
3rd gen French blue.
Yeah,
wonderful
50-50
color.
mix, and then just French blue for the sides. But I just made it up. So, we could totally... Because I was watching all these tutorials and stuff, and just nothing hit,
Yeah, that's why when you sent me, I mentioned with the armor, I was like, I don't know if I love it, but if this is what we want to go with the design, I'm for it, I'll do it. But I'm really glad we went a different direction. I think it was really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun. It was but overall favorite thing
for me.
For me, I think it'd be
what for you? Yeah.
My gold, but that's such a small detail.
It's the small details. You might not ever see this face that close.
For you, I'd say it was your eyeballs. I'm like, what the? My favorite thing that you did, I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? Okay. The fuck is this?
Yeah, I like eyeballs. I like putting color in them. This one I didn't. I just did the eye glint. I figured I'd just keep them a little easier on myself. But it is fun to add color to eyeballs. But this is good, and I enjoyed it. And I like the subtle details. When you really take a moment to really look at a miniature and you see the subtle details. That's, I think, my favorite part of this. And I think people will have a fun time staring and finding little parts that they like.
I think the hardest thing that I did for you, I could tell was already the eye glints. Your eyeballs, you hold your breath, and then after each eyeball, you would literally be like, okay, thank God.
Yep, and then just give me 5 minutes before I do the next one.
And then for me, it was lining the power sword and the power axe.
Yeah, hey, you came up with a really interesting way to do it, actually, which I had never thought about before, and I thought that was cool.
# don't use white.
Yeah,
pretty simple.
Honestly, just don't use white for it. Use something closer. It'll run better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try that now in the future because it's really, really good. I really liked it. I was impressed.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of fun things to do at LVO this year as well. Since we don't have factions locked in, I literally made a best in faction for every single faction, every single one, all 36. And I made so many trophies this year. I think we have over 50 trophies for LVO this year, and I'm really excited that people get to go home with a bunch of memorabilia. That's the goal.
Take pictures, people. Have fun with your friends. Meet some people from maybe from the East Coast, and you didn't know this guy's your neighbor. Mm-hmm. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're coming to the end here. It's still, we got a little bit of a ways to drive, and I'll start uploading this pretty soon. And for all you fine folks out there, you get to listen to us for just a little bit under an hour on your way to Vegas, so you know that your friends from Squad Games are here, keeping you company all the way.
Typically, we like to do a tier list right before LVO. you know?
Yeah, but
Technically did. You picked the 4 top teams.
Yep.
if I get okay, real quick, using the 4 teams you mentioned, what is your tier list? Only one thing can go in each space.
Warp Coven number 1.
Yeah.
They're Ness, okay.
Then we'll go with Legionary.
An A, okay.
And then I think Inquisition and Hierotek are tied.
And then you go, oh, okay. So then they just kind of like lock and fight. Yeah, I could believe them being stuck at B.
I honestly think that Void Dancers are up there as well.
Yeah,
but I think they're just
like
a step below.
A secret C. They could come in and actually do work because they hit hard.
And everything else is D tier. There you go.
Watch Rekka Crew be the thing that wins, or heck,
yeah.
the humble little hobbit comes in with his sniper rifle and his dog, a boy and his dog.
I want the Ratlings to just fucking crush. I wish.
The Ratlings are really cool and all, and I think
if they're piloted and you have the right lineups, maybe.
We would have seen them do well. We would have seen Rekka Crew do better.
I know.
Rekka Crew could 100% defeat a Legionary player. 100%. They just need to spike some dice and they win,
Yeah, and with
I would
Rekka
like
points,
to
they
see
can spike
that,
it.
To be real, but I mean,
Hey, it's not out of the realm of possibility. We have 174 players. One of them is bound to take at least one. I already know one player who is. So.
it's just like after Worlds, I just feel like that. I mean, after Worlds, I am so surprised that we didn't get the updates that we needed, because that really was. I'm just saying, after Worlds, I'm just really surprised we didn't get the updates we needed, because it was very clear at Worlds that there were only 4 teams really that were effective in this game currently. So I mean, there's nothing.
Plague Marines are pretty good.
No, that's why I was actually surprised that you put Plague Marines. You didn't put Plague Marines in the top 4, because I would actually put them at 4.
I think Hierotek and Inquisition have just a few more tricks.
Inquisition did not perform well at Worlds.
Yeah, they did. Matus lost 1 game. He lost 1 game, got 3rd overall.
Same thing with Baki. He was like really close to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they do great. The people who brought him won.
I mean, I guess. I think that they're a really, really hard team to pilot because you have so many choices you can take. So I think that if you've...
I very much agree.
Yeah, and I think I think they're supremely hard to pilot. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, they're just one of those things where... But again, if you know the game really well, you know everybody else's team really well, I think that you can make the right choices. And therefore, with the right person, I think they can do really well. But I think overall, for someone who is a good player, I don't think they're going to pilot that team well. I think you have to be a superb player to do it.
Right, your mental,
And I say that as an okay player.
Yeah, I know. That's why we're not at the top table side.
Yeah, I know exactly. So, but I'm just saying that's my opinions. That's my opinions on who brought them to Worlds. I think that the people who brought them to Worlds, if they play these people, will be able to dominate LVO, most definitely. But I definitely think the learning curve on that particular team is. That's a tough team. So, but yeah, I don't know. I think Plague Marines are fun. I think they hit hard and they're very effective.
Secret C tier. We'll put them in there with Void Dancers.
No, I think Ratlings are better.
I fucking love Ratlings. I don't know if we could drop the F word. This is your guys' podcast.
Again, we're past 10 minutes.
Oh, God, but Ratlings, I also think Ratlings are, I think that, especially with a few tweaks, I think they're going to be monsters. I hope. I just think Ratlings.
I think they're already super
I don't think
strong.
they need a tweak. Yeah, they're already good.
They're super, super strong, and the only thing that's going to matter to them is that they might not be able to assault a stronghold against like an anointed legionary for LVO. We'll see what the balanced data slate brings, but
right. The only looking into the future, the only thing I could see being a nerf for the team is you still get to choose your 3 free things, but you can only use 1 free thing a turn.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, that would be a future change.
Oh, I was like,
No, right now you can use them all. You get effectively with no Ogrins 12 command points.
I
for
know,
free.
that's incredible.
Yeah,
that's
so
incredible.
I could maybe see that happening, but that's not even.
I hope not. I don't see that.
I don't think they need it. I don't think they need it.
I don't see that happening just because they're so. I feel like if you start messing around with them, they're going to have to take Ogren, and I think that's the thing.
Yeah, so you're not going to run into that.
You're going
problem.
to lose what makes them so cool,
right.
and makes them so. Rattling-y, I guess.
Yeah, like the little subhuman
but
team.
I was gonna say it's an entirely subhuman team, and I think that's so incredible.
It is, right?
And I created a reel that got a lot of beef because I said the Imperiums weren't the good guys. It was just a joke, and people just did not like it. But someone wrote Ogrins are the only good guys. So I was like, they're right.
They're actually correct.
They're the only good guys.
Me standing in line waiting to talk to the commissar about the melta bomb I just ate.
Oh no. Incredible. But I'm excited to see. I really hope that the changes that we've made as the TOs, the decisions, people are probably going to chew us up, spit us out about really help balance this game out, and we get
Or maybe praise us.
a fun time. You know, people are going to be like,
We're going to get chewed in the comments, but you know
no
what?
matter what,
We got the 24-hour news cycle. We'll be out of there and into a new thing next week.
I know. And I always feel like if you feel like you can do it better, do it.
Yeah.
We'll come.
Yeah,
We'll
I'll
come. We'll support
I'll do
anybody.
that. Yeah,
we love
hell
it.
yeah.
We want to see this grow in the community.
Yeah, heck yeah, dude.
I wasn't supposed to be snarky. It came out snarky.
It came out snarky, but it came out. I got what you're coming.
Yeah, because I only had 3 or 4 hours of sleep. But yeah, we always love
I
to.
thought you were about to say 3 or 4 beers. It's like, whoa.
Just, oh my God.
You can drink. You're not driving.
No, you can't drink in the car, but you can drink at Vegas.
We're not Vegas line yet. Just kidding. Oh, well, yeah, with that note, let's do some shout-outs. You want to start? You guys want to start? All right, I'll start. I'll give it a shout-out. You can join the conversation, whether you're listening to this on your ride to Vegas or you're listening to it later in the morning on your run, because some people like to run before tournaments.
Oh, my God.
It gets them in the focus.
Who does that?
A few people.
There's some people. You know, you can join the conversation. Tell us what you think about these changes. Tell us what you think about narrative. Are you going to do narrative in the future? Will you come to Southern California to go see and experience the
I hope
Grand
you
Narrative?
guys do. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. And of course, you can check us out on YouTube. We have other things such as battle reports. We have Hobby Highlanders about to come out pretty soon. I'm starting to build that hype because it really is about to come out soon. And, Twitch streams will be coming back now that LVO will be able to depressure from LVO and just get right into the swing of it.
Yeah, give me a week.
Give him a week.
Give me a week.
Thank you to our Patreon members for helping us do what we do, and thank you for the greater community for coming out and supporting us in that way too. That really helps us out.
Oh, Giacomo covered so much of it. If you want to find the crew, they're on Instagram, they're on YouTube, they're on...
What are those handles?
Everything. For you guys, it's just Squad Games Entertainment or Squad Games. It's pretty easy to find. And if you want to find me personally, I'm Tabletop Mayhem across the board. You can follow me on TikTok for another 4 days.
Hooray.
Or you can... I've also just launched my YouTube. It's only been up for, let's say, about a year now, but I'm going to start taking that a little bit more seriously, and of course on Instagram. But yeah.
Yeah, and you can also, what do I want to shout out? I want to shout out Sleep. Sleep is a long lost friend of mine that I don't get to visit enough, especially since I've been trying to recover from being sick, so missed a couple podcasts because of it, and
Nothing quite hits you like the flu.
I think I got like what,
everything.
3 hours of sleep in the past 4 days, trying to catch up and do stuff, so looking forward to when I get to Vegas. Unfortunately, I have like 4 meetings and parties to go to on Thursday night.
Yep.
But Friday, I will get to meet my long-lost friend known as Sleep.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Gordon Ramsay burger.
Oh, yeah, Gordon Ramsay, too.
My long-lost friend, the Gordon Ramsay burger.
I only see him once a year.
Yeah, once a year.
Oh, my God, that is so fun.
Yeah, love it.
Buck City.
Yeah, so shout out to Sleep, shout out to your health, and, shout out to the balanced data slate. The balanced data late, let's call it.
There you go. There you go.
So, until next time, everyone.
Catch you later. Aquilons for 2025 LVO champion.
Ratlings, 1,000% Ratlings. That's my pushing my little.
Just score!
Oh my gosh.
The Squad Games podcast is a production of Squad Games Entertainment. For more information on Squad Games, please visit our website at lestersworkshop.com/squad-games.